Good morning, welcome to part 26 of my Round the Kent Coast cycling challenge. We've just passed Ramsgate. That is actually just behind us. Ramsgate Tunnel is just round the corner of that cliff where we came up to last week. But this week we're going to explore PEGWELL Bay a bit, where we are now. It's very interesting. It's actually well known for the Saxons Landing and St Augustine coming to the UK, which is very interesting and we may talk about today. I'm just going to show you around. It's very nice here. This site was actually, I've just read on the sign back there, was a grazing ground for woolly mammoths during, well, before the last ice age. So it's very interesting. You can kind of just imagine them kind of grazing here. Very nice area. Let's go and see what we can find. So the first thing we've noticed in PEGWELL Bay is these white cliffs I'm just going to show you, and the amount of erosion taking place kind of all around the cliffs. It is actually quite noticeable, and I'm actually quite scared to go too close to these cliffs. As you can see, the trees at the top are almost slowly falling off. There's a couple hanging down, the roots are sticking over the edge. It does show the amount of erosion taking place and this forever changing landscape that is here. It just to show you that probably in 50 years this will be totally different kind of shape, this cliff edge, as it slowly erodes out into the sea. Anyway, very interesting. Let's carry on around the coast. So we've come a bit further around the bay and there is slightly a better view, so I'm just going to give you a bit of a pan round to show you the kind of landscape here. So you can just see in the distance, you can actually see the corner of Ramsgate now as town ends and the kind of bay starts. As I go round, you see the white cliffs where we were a minute ago. There's quite a lot of wildlife here. There's quite a few notice boards about different species, very interesting. There is actually a kind of this concrete slab we're standing on. I'm not actually sure what this once was, why it was built, but it's quite interesting. I may try and find out when I get home. There are lots of kind of kite surfers. You may just see them in the distance. As we go around, the tide is out. Again, quite a few kite surfers in the distance. Over there is where we are heading next. We're going to try and get to the other side of the bay today. That is quite a task because it does go inland quite a way. As I pan round, you'll see the view back to Ramsgate. Right, let's carry on down the coast. So we're just coming around the bay. Unfortunately we can't cycle right against the bay, but we have found quite a nice cycle path kind of just going along here. But I just, as I kind of cycle along, I have found these Highland cattle in the field, which are quite interesting. I'm just going to zoom in so you can see them. Excuse me while the autofocus catches up. They're not quite a local breed to the area, but still very interesting. Right, let's carry on around the bay. Just a bit further around the coast, there is actually a ship called the Highland. Now, this is a replica ship of the actual ship that the Saxons invaded on. Now, they built this to commemorate the 1500th anniversary of the Saxons kind of landing, and they did actually sail on a similar route to the Saxons. So it's all very interesting and definitely well worth going to have a look at. Right, let's carry on around the coast. So we finally reached the other side of the bay here. It's quite nice. We found this beach area, but finally found the sea again. I'm just going to show you, there's a few people fishing. The sea goes out with kind of Ramsgate in the distance on the other side of the bay. That's where we'll be heading next week, going towards Deal. That'll be very exciting. But we've just driven through. I'm just going to show you some pictures because it was Sandwich Bay Estate we've driven through, which is really nice. There's some really nice houses. You do actually have to go through a toll to drive up there if you've got a car. I'm sure residents get up there for free, but it's actually quite a nice drive if you want to pay the £7 toll. Or you can cycle up for free like I did, and it's really nice along here. Nice kind of stretch of sea and hardly anyone about. I don't think a lot of people know about this section here. I'll just show you on the map where it is, just so you can come and find it. Anyway, let's go further around the bay and see what we can find. So we reached Sandwich and we headed on the path towards the coast, and we actually went past the Royal St George's Golf Club, which is a kind of very prestigious golf club. I believe they held the Open there a few years ago. As you can see by these shots, there's a few people playing golf on it. But one of the problems we've got is as soon as we passed the golf club, the path kind of became unwalkable. So I've actually had to chain my bike up there. Let's hope it's there when I came back. So from this point on, I'm actually kind of walking, and I'm so glad I did because I found this really nice bay here. I'm just going to show you around. It's pretty deserted because it's quite hard to get to by car. There's no one on it. It goes on for miles. In the distance there you can see the side of Ramsgate. You may just be able to see that. It's quite a long way off. As I pan round, there's a huge stretch of beach going out. It's really nice. going to show you on the plan where we actually are, just to show you kind of how secluded this point is. It is actually, the path doesn't really go anywhere, it kind of ends kind of ahead of us in that direction. Probably goes on for about a kilometre. Now the rain is going to set in about an hour, so I've kind of cut my walk short. It's a bit of a shame. I kind of wanted to get to the end, but I better start heading back. But yeah, it's been a really nice journey today. Let's carry on and see if we can find my bike. So as you can see, PEGWELL Bay goes out now towards Ramsgate. We're along the kind of Sandwich Flats now, and as you can see, the beach goes on. But one thing PEGWELL Bay was very well known for was the landing of St Augustine. Now, St Augustine is actually known to have brought Christianity to England back in, I think it was around 450 AD. That may not be exactly correct. I will put the exact date up on the screen. But he kind of came in here, and he was well known to kind of be the leading figure in bringing the faith to the UK and making it a Christian nation. He actually done his first sermon, or so it's led to believe, his first sermon at St Augustine's Cross, which is kind of just inland. I'll put a picture up of that now. That's quite interesting. But he would have come here. He actually travelled inland to Canterbury, where he kind of set up base, and kind of to this day Canterbury has been the kind of central focus of the kind of Christian faith in the UK, which is quite interesting. Excuse me as I step back here before I get washed away by the tide. But yeah, it's a very interesting story. There's a lot of history here connected to that. Right, let's carry on around the coast. Joining me in part 26 of my Around the Kent Coast Cycling Challenge. It's been a good episode. We've seen Sandwich, we've learnt a lot of history about the coastline here. I've just found this lovely bay, which is a highlight of this week's episode. I'm going to give you one more tour. As you can see, it's still quite deserted. Right, see you next week.